What if I told you that three of the smallest words in English, a, an, and the, are actually some of the most powerful? They might seem tiny, but they do a huge job in making you sound natural and clear. So today, we're going to break down exactly how they work.
Just think about this for a second. I need a pen versus I need the pen. They're almost identical, right? But that one little word changes everything. One is like, hey, can someone hand me any old pen? The other is a mission. Where is that specific pen I was just using? That difference is the entire secret we're unlocking today.
So how does this all work? Well, it all comes down to one simple idea: specificity. That's it. The whole job of an article is to tell your listener if you're talking about one particular thing or just any old thing. Once you really get that, everything else just clicks into place.
So you can basically split all articles into two simple teams. First up, you've got the indefinite team, a and an. Think of them as the generalists. They're pointing to any one of many. Then you have the definite team, which is just the. This one's the specialist, and it's basically shouting, you know exactly which one I mean.
All right, let's start with team indefinite, a and an. These are your conversation starters. You use them when you're bringing something new into the discussion, introducing it for the very first time.
So, how do you actually choose between a and an? Now, this is a big one. This is where a lot of people get tripped up. The most important rule to burn into your brain is this: it has nothing to do with spelling. It's not about the letter. It's all about the sound. You have to let your ears decide, not your eyes.
Let's look at this in practice, because this is where it gets interesting. A cat is easy. It starts with that k sound. But here come the curveballs. We say a university because it starts with a y sound, which is a consonant sound. And we say an hour because that H is totally silent, so the first sound you actually hear is a vowel. It really is all about the sound.
So, what's the common thread in all these examples? Well, whether you're talking about a movie you just saw, describing someone's job, or shouting about the weather, you're always talking about one non-specific thing out of many. You saw a movie, not a specific one we've already discussed. She's an engineer, one of thousands. The big idea is always generality. So, what happens after you've introduced that new thing into the conversation? Well, that's when the gets to shine. This is your precision tool. You pull this out when you and the person you're talking to are both on the same page, thinking about the exact same thing.
Let's watch this play out. I could start a conversation by saying, I saw a movie yesterday. I'm using a because right now it could be any movie on the planet. I've just introduced a new general topic.
But then, watch the switch in my very next sentence. I say, the movie was great. Why the? Because now we're connected. We both know I'm talking about that movie I just mentioned. It went from being general to specific in a heartbeat. That's the real power of the.
But the isn't only for things we've already mentioned. We also use it for anything that's naturally unique or one of a kind. I mean, there's only one sun in our sky, so of course it's the sun. There can only be one best day or first person, so it has to be the best day or the first person. This logic of uniqueness applies to everything from famous rivers to entire groups of people.
Okay, so we know how to talk about one of many things and one specific thing. But what about when we want to talk about things in the broadest, most general way possible? This is the final piece of the puzzle, and it's a game changer, knowing when to use no article whatsoever.
For instance, when we talk about big, abstract concepts like love, or happiness, or even time, we almost always drop the article. We'd say, love is important, not the love is important. Why? Because we're talking about the whole idea of love in general, not a specific love between two people.
And that same general logic applies to most proper nouns. You don't say you're learning the English, you're just learning English. You wouldn't say you're visiting the Brazil, you just visit Brazil. Now, yeah, there are a few famous exceptions, like the United States or the UK, but as a general rule, you leave that article out.
Phew! Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here, from the general to the specific, to using no article at all. So now, let's boil all of this down into a simple check you can use anytime, anywhere.
So here's the entire journey in 3 simple steps. You start a conversation with, I saw a cat. It could be any cat. Once you've established that cat, it becomes, the cat was black, the specific one we're now both thinking about. And if you want to talk about the entire species, you just say, cats are cute, no article needed.
It's a natural flow from general to specific to universal.
So here it is, your mental checklist. You can run through this in seconds. First, always ask yourself, is this noun specific? Does my listener know exactly which one I mean? If the answer is yes, boom, use the. If no, move on to question 2. Am I introducing a single countable thing for the first time? If so, use a or an. And if neither of those fits, you're probably talking about a general idea and you don't need any article at all.
Okay, enough theory. Practice is where it really counts. Let's put your new skills to the test right now. I'm going to show you some sentences. Your job is to decide which article, if any, goes in each blank. Go ahead and pause here for a moment and really think it through.
All right, let's see how you did. Notice it's an umbrella because of that vowel sound, and the sun because it's totally unique. Children, as a general group, needs no article, and the UK is one of those special exceptions. Look, the main takeaway here isn't to memorize a giant list of rules. It's to get a feel for that core idea of specificity. Once you master that, you won't just be correct, you'll be communicating with so much more clarity and confidence. These little words really do pack a big punch.